we got to talk Gophers, Ron. Haven't talked a lot. They're playing Buffalo on Thursday, so there's not a lot of hype around the opponent, but there is hype around the new season. So let's talk Buffalo game. What are your expectations for Thursday?
Well, here's the crazy thing. I don't know if you remember. One of the Gophers coaches used to be the head coach there, Mo Lundquist. And Lindquist, he ended up going, he's at Alabama now. So I was like, dang, I wonder if that was scheduled when he was there, which it kind of probably was, because I know they schedule a couple years out when they do these non-conference games. So I wonder if that was like, hey, do you want to come back and play the Gophers? And PJ, was throwing Mo a bone, and then Mo ends up leaving for the Cowboys and then going to the Alabama Crimson Tide. So it's when you look at this game, man, this should be a blowout game. I don't see any Khalil Macks on this team right now. I don't see any, guys like that where you're like, man, this guy's going to be Bill Belichick's, first round draft pick to the Patriots. Like, I don't see that happening with this team. I think the biggest takeaway I'm looking for is Drake Lindsey. Like, Max Brosmer's first game out against North Carolina, if you remember, was a little rusty. He said that. He got better as it went. I think Drake Lindsey being a freshman, that's going to be the question, and the key is, like, how quick does he get the ball? Redshirt freshman, how quick does he get the ball out of his hand? Does he read the defense? Is the bright lights too much for him? I don't think so, because he has the body type and the NFL prototype to see over the line and do the things needed at that position. But I'm gonna be very interested to kind of watch him operate, and that's what I'm watching. And then Darius Taylor, like, the one knock on Darius Taylor is always like, does he have that second gear? That Reggie Bush, that Tyreek Hill, like when you're in the open field, can you pull away? Because it seems like he's always in the open field, and then he somehow doesn't make it to the end zone. So I'm watching for that. We know he's a good running back. We know he can catch the ball at the backfield. We know he's a good receiver because he played receiver in high school. But can he hit that second gear? Because that's going to be the difference. And then also, I think, everybody wants to see how often is Coy Parrish used. That's the next one, is how often is Coy Parrish going to be used?
Yeah, and then secondly, Ron, just season outlook. Do you think this is a 6-win team, 7-win team, 8-win team? Do you have a final win total for these Gophers?
So I'm sitting here right now looking at the schedule. I think, so let's just go through the list. This is the Buffalo Bulls. Let's go back to the Gophers schedule. So if you look at the Gophers football schedule, I had them as a 9-win team because I think they can win 10. But I think they're a 9-win team because, again, it's tough to win all those tough games. And correct me if I'm wrong, when I'm going through this list, Buffalo should be a win. Northwestern State should be a win. Minnesota versus Cal. Okay, that's a weird one to me because you're traveling. You're traveling to the West Coast, and we talked about this, but they went to UCLA, or say they play USC and UCLA at UCLA, play USC at home, and they beat the West Coast teams. So Deshaun Foster, maybe we'll get Deshaun Foster on the show that week. Or sorry, not Deshaun Foster. They already did last year. But we still need to get Deshaun Foster on the thing to talk about the Big Ten because he had a much better presser this year. His presser last year was kind of bad. He looked like he got it under control. But when you think about going to the West Coast, I think that could be a win. Rutgers, that one should be a win, but Ethan Kaliakmanis is coming back into the building now. Like, is he going to be overhyped again? Is he going to be super juiced to play the Gophers and be back home be back in Minnesota? Chicago kid. That should be a win, though. Ohio State, yeah, come on now. Can one of these guys pull off a Gophers of the 99 team, 2000 team, and walk into the top ranked? I think Ohio State was like 4, 5, or 6 in the country at that time. Can they walk into the horseshoe and pull off a win over potentially at that time? Ohio State could be number 2 because right now they're preseason number 3. They could be number 2 by that time. So that's a loss. Purdue, win. Nebraska, win. Iowa, toss up, but I'll give them a win. Michigan State, win. Oregon, that's a run and gun type of game. I think they lose that. Northwestern, win. I think they can beat Wisconsin. So I count 10 wins. But I'm saying between Iowa, Wisconsin, somewhere in there's going to be, or even Rutgers, there's going to be that game where all we're like, they just won that game. They beat 10 wins right now. Like you always have that with Minnesota. So I'm going to go with like 8 or 9. I'm going to go 9. What are you going?
Yeah, so Oregon and Ohio State on the road are basically impossible. Like so there's two L's right there. So if they win every other game, there's your 10. And I think that, like, I don't think any of the other ones are impossible, but are they going to go 10 of 10? on those winnable games. Like
Right.
there's always some close ones, right, where the ball bounces the wrong way. Cal is a toss-up. Iowa's a toss-up. I don't know how good Wisconsin's going to be. They've kind of been an erratic program of late. So I'm gonna dock them a couple of wins, just for whatever. Drake has a bad game. There's a bad call at the end, like the Michigan game last year. I'm gonna put them down at 7. I think 7 is maybe a little more modest, but we'll allow Drake some growing pains, and then hey, next year maybe it'll be more optimistic outlook. But I think 7 this year is a safe bet.
I like that. I like 7 wins. I'm gonna go higher though. I'm gonna hold you to this. I'm going 9. So when they get to 7, we'll get on the show.
Bowl game? Is that including bowl game? Because they'll win the bowl game. They always win the bowl game.
They've won, I think, 6 in the last couple of years, 6 in a row.
Yeah.
No, I'm going 9 regular season. I think they can do. I think this is Drake again. It comes down to the quarterback. This is the year of the quarterback. You got Drake Lindsey and you got Drake May. You got JJ McCarthy. So this is going to be the year where it's like, can Minnesota? I mean, Minnesota media is going to be buzzing with the quarterback play every week now because it's going to be, how did JJ McCarthy do? How did Drake Lindsey do? How did JJ McCarthy do? How did Drake Lindsey do? Like everybody wants to know. And Max Brosmer being a Viking, he's going to be a lot of these Gopher games when the Vikings play Monday night. He'll probably potentially be there Thursday night for the Thursday night opener. I'm pretty sure the Vikings are going to the Gophers, if he's there, he's going to be on the Jumbotron. It's going to be nauseating how much they're going to keep showing him on the Jumbotron. Current Vikings quarterback, Max Brosmer's in the building. They're going to honor him at the half or something. It's like, you act like nobody else has made it to the NFL. Like, what are we doing here? But I get it. You gotta hype it up for the crowd. You gotta get the recruits to enjoy and think like, hey, if Max can make it to the NFL, I can make it to the NFL. Like, it's not all about. But I love PJ Flex, and we'll have to try to get him on. Hopefully, I know the season's starting, so I kind of missed my window, but see if we can get him on because he talked about that they're not the highest bidder, and like, what does that mindset look like, not being the highest bidder? And so having a guy like Max Brosmer going to the league, it's like, hey, look, man, we can still get you there.